Hello, good afternoon. This beautiful Thursday morning. Oh, afternoon. So me saying morning again. Welcome this beautiful Thursday afternoon from the beautiful, beautiful, beautiful city of Port Harcourt in Rivers State, Nigeria. Yes, who is here with me today? Who has come along with me today on this journey? This is Growth Habits with Ngozi Onwucholoba. Every Tuesday for now on Facebook. But today is a makeup session for the session we missed on Tuesday. That's why we are here on Thursday today. So once again, this is Growth Habits. Welcome to everyone that is joining me. I hope I am audible. I hope I am clear this afternoon. It's a bit of a rainy afternoon here in the city of Port Harcourt, but we're used to it. This is what we see in this city of Port Harcourt in Rivers State. So I was saying that today's session is a make-up session. We were supposed to have a session on Tuesday, but due to circumstances completely beyond my control, we couldn't meet up with that session. I had to just go for a quick checkup, and I didn't finish up on time. Thank you for everyone that checked up on me, that sent me messages, that called when they saw my message that I had to quickly get to the clinic. So thank you all so much for checking up on me. It shows that truly we are a family here now. It's not just Facebook friends. It's not just people that show up to watch or listen to the program, but we are now family. So thank you all for checking up on me. I truly appreciate that. Give me 1 minute. I need to adjust a little bit. Yes. I think this is much better. Yes. Okay, so as I was saying, thank you all for checking up on me. I truly appreciated it. It shows that people are still good in this world. People still care for one another. Sometimes when we look at the world, look at the things that are happening, it looks like humanity is gone, as humanity has flown out the window. But we are still good people. We still care for one another. So thank you all who checked up on me. I am fine. I am good. I'm okay. No need to fear, no need to fret. So welcome once again, even for those that will join on the replay. Welcome to Growth Habits with Ngozi Onwucholoba, your personal guide in the journey of growth. Yes, this is our 10th session. Can you believe that? 10 whole sessions. Wow, we have really come a long way. It looked like, would it work, wouldn't it work? But here we are, 10 sessions on, and I really have to be grateful to God for this time, for this opportunity, for this privilege. Yes, I'm truly grateful to God. So let me just do a quick recap, as we usually do, on the things we have done so far. We started on the first session and we talked about growth in general, and we agreed that growth is a process. And we can see that as we have gone from that first session to this session, that there is a progression. There's a progression. We are making progress. We are not just, we are not where we were at that first session. If we have truly been listening, if we have truly been taking notes, if we have even been applying some of the things that we have been talking about, you will find that where you were when we started is not where you are today. It's not where you are now. There has been some growth. There has been some progress. Yes. So please, when you join, let me know that you're here, so that I don't think I'm talking to myself. Let it be that there are people, I can see people, but I'm not seeing any comments. So please just let me know that you're here, and if possible, let me know where you are joining me from this afternoon. So as I said, that was our first session, a general discussion on growth. Our second session, we now talked about the mindset that is needed to grow. Because truly, when you believe that this is not me, this can't be me, this can't happen for me, of course it will not happen for you. It will not be you. So we talked about having the right mindset for growth. And in our third session, we talked about your daily habits, the things you do every day that will help promote growth, that will help you grow, that will enhance and even fasten the growth, make the growth faster to an extent. That was what we discussed in our third session. And in our fourth session, we now spoke about your circle of friends, the people you surround yourself with, the people that are, your close friends. And we agreed that as much as is possible, let at least one or two of that circle of friends be people whose present represent your future. People who have been where you're trying to go to. People that have achieved what you're trying to achieve. So we agree that at least one or two of that circle of friends should be somebody that had their current situation is what you're aiming for. And we also agree that we also have to have people who are on the same journey as you are, who are going the same direction as you are. So after talking about circle of friends, we now talked about measuring growth. That was our fifth session. We talked about measuring growth, being able to know whether you're actually making any progress at all, being able to capture data on your journey, being able to keep a record of this is how I was and this is how I am today, so that we can measure how far we have gone on this journey, if we're even growing at all, or we are just marking time. And our sixth session, we spoke about balancing input and output. And we concentrated on the input of rest, being able to just take out time and rest, physical rest, spiritual rest, emotional rest. We spoke about all that, and we agreed that it is so essential, because most times we just keep on giving output, and there is no corresponding inputs. Yeah, so that was what we discussed about in our sixth session. And in our seventh session, we talked about stepping out of your comfort zone, coming out of your comfort zone. And I told us that nothing grows in the comfort zone. In that place where you are just, not ready, you don't want to rock the boat, you don't want to, everything is just okay there, you're just comfortable there. You can't grow, and nothing, not even just that you cannot grow, nothing grows in the comfort zone. Even the things we plant in the ground, you put a seed into the ground, there's a lot that happens in that time that seed is in the ground. So there's some shaking, there's some, moving, there's a lot of things that happen. It's not, all calm and all. There is a lot that happens before that seed grows and sprouts. So nothing at all grows in your comfort zone. Once you settle down in your comfort zone and you're like, okay, I'm good here, you can't go further than that. You truly cannot go further than that. Yes, and then our eighth session, we spoke about identifying your blind spots, because we said that each of us has a blind spot. Each of us has some characteristics that maybe we don't even know, but they are either putting people off or rubbing people the wrong way. And we agreed that you need to get someone that can see your back to identify your blind spots for you. You need to have someone that is trusted, someone that can truly tell you the truth, that can just lay it out for you. This is what I see when I look at you. The person will be like your mirror that you put at your back that shows you what you look like. Identifying your blind spots. We all have them. No matter what I do, there's just so far that I can see behind me. Even in turning, if I'm turning my face this way, I can't now see this way. When I turn my face this way, I can't now see this way. So we need to have someone that is there at the back that is able to show us what we look like. Welcome, Mike Gopene, good to have you here. Phoebe Okachi, welcome. Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. So that was what we discussed in our 8th session. And in our 9th session, we spoke about learning from people that inspire you. Learning from people that inspire you. And I remember that I was specific about learning. We all have people that inspire us and we follow them and, and all that. But most times we truly do not learn anything from them because we're just following them. We have not taken time to study them, to know a little bit about them so that we will know what to pick and what not to pick from their lives. So the key point in that session was learning from those people that inspire you. Not just that, oh, this is my inspiration, this person is my role model, this person is whatever, It's not just to be carried away in that euphoria of this person is my role model, this person is my mentor. No, learn. Make an intentional effort to learn from that person or from those people that you say inspire you. That was what we talked about last. That was our 9th session. And in this 10th session, we're going to be talking about dealing or learning to deal with difficult people. You might say, what does this have to do with anything? Honestly, it has a lot to do with your ability to grow. It has a lot. If you're able to deal with difficult people, you will fly. It's not even just a normal growth. You will fly. You will fly. I promise you that. Because you will always meet difficult people. Some of us have them as relations. Some of us have these difficult people as relations. And you find that things always don't quite work out well when these difficult people are around. It's so hard to know how to deal with them. It's so hard to know how to relate with them. It's just a difficult thing. But for you to truly say you have grown, for you to truly say you are even growing, you must learn how to deal with difficult people. It is essential. Like I said, they are everywhere. For some of us, they are in our families. For some of us, these difficult people are in our offices. For some of us, they are people we meet in church. There are people we meet in church. There are people we meet just every day in our everyday activities. We come across these difficult people and we must learn how to deal with them. Because most times, these people that are difficult, some of them are just misunderstood. They're not even really difficult. But some of them are going through something also. And if you deal with them properly, you'll be able to help them and help yourself. But of course, we still have those ones that are just difficult for no reason. They're just difficult. They're just mean people. They're just, like that. Those ones exist too. But the principles that apply to the one that is going through something that is not really difficult by choice, and the principle that is applied to the one that is difficult by choice, they're actually the same. And I want to tell you that these principles, they work. They work. They work. At least I can testify to some personal experiences that these things worked on. So the first principle we want to talk about in dealing with difficult people is to simply listen. Sounds like, what is this? No, but truly, honestly, when you listen to that person that appears to be difficult, and you're not listening with the aim of, let me get what to say back, you're truly actively listening to the person. That is one way to disarm a difficult person. Welcome, precious Chijak. Yes, good day. Glad to have you here with me this afternoon. As I was saying, listening, just the very act of listening to that person, generally disarms a difficult person, because most of them are difficult and they are being difficult in order to make you react a certain way. The whole aim of their difficult nature is to get you to react in a certain way. And then you just keep quiet and actually listen to them and actually pay attention to what they are saying. Not just, like I said, listening in order to get the next point to make. No, actively listening to them. That is one way to disarm a difficult person, because they didn't expect it. It's not expected at all that you're going to listen to them. They don't expect you to listen to them. They don't expect you to listen. So when you listen and you listen actively, they are disarmed. They are disarmed. You know, when we talk about active listening, it means that you're not just you're listening, and at the same time you're actually processing what the person is saying. You're not just processing what the person is saying, you're, I don't want to say looking for a solution per se, because you're not trying to solve the person's problem, but you're trying to understand the person. You're trying to understand, why is this person behaving like this? That is active listening. And this is one way to deal with difficult people that works, that truly works. I had a colleague that many years ago, in fact, because for me, the difficult people I've actually met in my life have just happened to be in the office. I don't think I've really had to deal with difficult people outside. Okay, maybe a few church, maybe a few in church settings, but the majority have been in the office. I guess maybe because most of my life has been working. I've almost always worked. You know, I've always been in one office or the other. So I had a colleague that was just difficult, honestly. I can't even really say, they're just difficult. Nobody gets along with them. They don't get along with anybody. They always have issues with how you did this or how you did the other one. Always, constantly. And when I try to talk to them to say, look, we all can't be wrong and only you is right, it's not even possible. Who are you telling? She doesn't care. She's not interested. As far as she's concerned, her way or the highway. And I just made up my mind to just, okay, I can't beat this person at an argument. There's no need. Let me just even take time and hear out what she's trying to say. What is really going on in her mind? Because you know, sometimes when somebody is talking and you pay true attention, you can figure out what is going on in their head. You can have an idea of their thought processes just from listening to them. So I just took out time. And next time she came up with all her drama, I said nothing. I did not respond. I truly listened. And from that, will I call it exercise of listening to her, I figured out that her problem was not even really that she wanted to be right. She just wanted to be heard. She truly felt that nobody was listening to her. She felt that, you know, in the process of all these discussions and all these arguments or whatever that she's been having with people, nobody heard what she was trying to say. People were only listening in order to come up with the next argument. So I just took that time and listened. That day, no matter what she said, I tried not to respond. It was hard. It was hard. It was difficult. But I just, because I had made up my mind, because I'm tired of the arguments. I'm somebody that arguments does not, I don't flow with it. I don't know how to argue. Once you begin to argue too much, I shut down and leave you. I shut down truly. And that is the end. But in this particular case, I can't even explain why I chose this option, but it just is what came to my mind to do. Probably I believe it's the Holy Spirit that probably gave me that inspiration. I just listened. And the more she talked, and she saw that I was not responding, I was not, arguing with her as usual. Afterwards, she kept quiet. She said, "Ma, you here? Are you listening to me? Can you hear me?" I said, I can hear you. I can hear everything you're saying." She kept quiet. She said, "Then why are you not responding?" That was her question. "Then why are you not responding?" I said, "Because I'm listening. You can't listen and respond at the same time." She was like, "Really?" I said, "Yes, there's no way I can be listening to you and then responding to you at the same time. It's when you finish. Then if I want to respond, I can now respond." In fact, it was like ice cold. She kept quiet. She said, "Really? So you mean, okay, what did I say?" That was the next thing she asked me. She was, "Okay, Ma, since you said you have been listening, what did I say?" And I just gave her a summary of all that she spit out that day. A good enough summary. Of course, it couldn't be a perfect summary. My brain is not magnet like that. So I just gave her a summary of what I felt she said. And she was like, "Ma, that's exactly what I'm trying to say." Because now I didn't just repeat her words. I tried to put in my understanding of what she said. She was like, "That's exactly it, Ma. You truly understood me." That was the last time me and her quarreled. That was the last time me and her had argument over until I left that place. That was it. Because I now found out that the solution was not to argue with her, was not to look for the next, because if you keep looking for the next thing to say, she will always beat you. Hands down, she has it down pat. But once I faced her with this listening, it was, and even me that did it, I was shocked at the result I got. She just became calm with me. She still argued with other people though. But once anything had to do with me, she just relaxed and listened. And we spoke and we discussed. Why? Because I took out time to truly listen to her. So a lot of times, what those people we term difficult, what they're actually looking for is just someone to listen to them. Welcome, Aramide Gilda. Glad to have you with us this day. So all they're actually looking for, some, is not all, is someone to truly listen and understand their standpoint, their viewpoint. So that is why active listening works with difficult people. Active listening. Pay attention to what they are saying, both the words coming out from their mouth, the actions following the words, the way they kept their face, the way they did their body, the body language. Pay attention to all of that and try to deduce from all that what the person is truly saying. Is an act. It's not something you can just do like that. You learn it and you do it over time. So that is one way to deal with difficult people. Another way is to stay calm. This one is not necessarily that you're listening per se, but you are not reacting. Like I said, most of them, these people we term difficult, they thrive on your reaction. They thrive when you're giving them fire for fire. Claribel, welcome. Glad to have you. I'm glad you joined us today. They thrive on that fire for fire. They thrive on you said, I said. They thrive on you're responding to whatever it is they're spewing out. So just stay calm. Don't always respond. Because another thing is that generally as human beings, we don't react well when we're emotional. We don't even make good decisions when we're emotional. Generally, as human beings, when you need... True, I always try to step back from every situation. It's hard, but I make that attempt. Before any major decision, I step back, calm myself down before thinking that thing again. Because most times, we don't make good decisions when we're emotional. human beings, we don't. We truly don't. So we need to learn the act of stepping back. It might even be 1 second. You might not need a long stepping back, a long period of pause. Just for a second, step back. Think. You will find that the decision you take when you have stepped back will be different from the one you will take at that point where your emotions are high, when somebody has upset you, someone has said something very insultive to you. You know that at that point, the responses that come to your head, they're not good. They're not good. I don't know if people are like me. Maybe some of you are saints. When somebody is insulting me, the responses are just at the tip of my tongue, and they are not good. They're not good at all. So if I act at that point with emotions high, the general thing that will happen is that everywhere will be fire, everywhere will be set on fire. But a lot of times even the simple act of changes your reaction. I don't know if anybody has tried that. Something is happening, somebody is annoying you, the emotions are all high, everywhere is fire, everybody is riled up, and you just do. How you will respond at that point is different from how you would have responded just before you took that breath. This breath took just like a second. Just like a second, it's not more than that. And that changes your reaction because you've calmed down, even if it's 1 degree. And when we are calm, we take more rational decisions. So when you're dealing with someone that is difficult, the person is all up in your face, the person is insultive, the person is mean, the person whatever, the person is just talking too much, whatever it is. And before you react, you step back for a second. Your reaction will be different. And it is now not that fire for fire the person is expecting. Like I said, most of these people who we term difficult, they thrive from the conflict. They thrive from the conflict. It's the conflict that's giving them fire to do more. It's the conflict that's giving them the ginger to do more. I said this and you said back, okay, they got another. It keeps on going, break that chain, step back, take a deep breath. Sometimes I actually physically walk away, sometimes. But that walking away, only have to be careful so that the person doesn't even misunderstand the walking away and think it's an insult also. So most times I just do the deep breath. Sometimes I take the deep breath physically so that you will see that I am trying to calm myself down. But sometimes I just take it without it being so, dramatic like the one I did now. And once I've taken that step, truly, my reaction is different. It's different. It's almost physically impossible to react exactly the same way you would have before you took that step back. Dealing with difficult people. Number 1, we said listen to them, actively listen. Try to hear what they are truly saying, not just the words that's coming out of their mouth. Then 2, stay calm. No matter the thing they do, no matter how they try to rile you, no matter how insultive they are, no matter how whatever word, stay calm. This also is a learned, it's not an easy thing, truly. It's not easy. When somebody is railing words at you, you stay, it's not calm. Really, it's not easy. It's not easy. But when you are able to do it, you will quench a lot of fire. You will quench a lot of fire. And the person will be disarmed. Because that is not the response they were expecting. They were expecting the other fire for fire response. They were expecting you to give them back, and then you didn't. Yes, sometimes some people will now say, oh, you're being a coward. Let them say, oh, let them say. You know what you're trying to do. Because even when you now react, people will still say, this one, they mad. We know now, we are Nigerians. This one too, they craze. So there is no way you do that people will not say something. So just do the right one. Do the one that is right. And that is stay calm. Stay calm. Don't allow them to rile you. Don't allow them to get you in a bad mood. Don't allow them to, spoil your own mood, self. Just stay calm. Take a deep breath. Approach the situation with calmness. Your decisions are much, much better because they will be more subjective at that point. Okay, so the next thing is, now this one, don't judge. This one is, I don't even know whether hard is the word. Don't judge. The first thing that comes to your mind when you meet someone that is difficult, as behaving in a difficult, is to judge them. Judge them, condemn them, send them to, to hell, in fact, or send them to prison in your mind. Condemn them forever because they are just difficult, they are bad, they are mean, they are wicked. We know all the adjectives we use to qualify people who are difficult. But sometimes, like I said, it might just be that the person is going through something at that time. So don't judge. Don't be judging her. Don't judge. Don't judge. Try and see if you can put yourself in their shoes. It might not be possible, but try. Try and see if you can find out, is there any other thing happening in their lives? Because, there's this thing they say that hurt people hurt people. So those people that have been hurt, that have gone through something, that have gone through some bad things, that have gone through some difficult things, most times they turn around and inflict that same hurt that they have gone through on others. It's almost like an automatic reaction. It's their way of coping with the hurt that they have gone through. It's their way of coping with the difficulties that they have passed through. So you now on the receiving end of their bad behavior, and you don't know that they have gone through something, and you judge. That cannot end well. It cannot end well. So don't judge. As much as possible, try and find out, does this person have any, thing going on in their lives? Do they have any past hurt that they are still trying to overcome? Do they have any past experience that is still dealing, with them? They are still dealing with, they're still trying to get over. Many a times when we look, we'll find that many of these people had some past hurts that they're trying to get over, and the only way they felt they could handle it was to inflict the same kind of pain on somebody else. So don't judge. Try and put yourself in their shoes. Try and understand where they're coming from. See, most times when I deal with people personally, I make it a point of duty to try and put myself in the person's shoes. I am not saying I'm perfect, I always do, but I make that attempt. I try to put myself in that person's shoes because it's easier to understand why somebody is misbehaving when you put yourself in their shoes. If it's not possible, maybe because whatever, they are going through is something that you cannot understand it because you've never gone through it, you've not even had anybody that had gone through it, but at least it will now help you because you've seen what is at the back of their bad behavior. It will now help you know how to deal with them. I repeat, these difficult people we are talking about, most of them are carrying baggage from a past hurt, from a past situation that damaged something inside of them. Most of them. Because I am sure that there's nobody God created with bad character. There is nobody God created to be mean. There is nobody. We learn it. We learn those characters. We learn those ways of behaving. And most times we are taught those things by the situations that surround us. So our ability to understand the person's situation will help us not to judge and will help us react better towards that person. Dealing or learning to deal with difficult people. Listening to them. Stay calm. Don't be riled. Don't allow them to push, your buttons excessively. Stay calm so that you can make rational decisions, and then don't judge. That does not mean, when I say don't judge, because there's a possibility, because I now said don't judge, you will not say, oh, this person is behaving badly, you excuse the bad behavior. No, it's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying we should excuse people's bad behavior, as in, this person is behaving badly, I shouldn't correct them. No. But it's even in the correcting, when you are able to understand what is bringing about the bad behavior, you correct better. Susan Anumele, thank you. Welcome. Thank you for joining us this afternoon. I'm so glad to have you here. And each and every one of you, like I said the other day, I appreciate the fact that you choose to spend this time here. You could have been doing so many other things. There's a lot you could have been doing with your time, but you chose to spend it here. So I am grateful for each and every one of you that joins every afternoon that I hold these sessions. Okay, so as I was saying, when you are able to understand, or you might not understand fully, but you're able to have an understanding of what is behind the person's behavior, you react better. You handle it better. You would know better how to deal with that person. That is why I say do not judge. Not that you will not assess that this person is not behaving well and be able to correct, but you correct better when you have information. It's just like seeing somebody that's always raving at people, shouting at people, and you don't know that maybe they're having a problem in their home with their husband, and then you want to correct, you begin to shout at the person back. And the problem, what is giving rise to her behavior, is maybe the shouting she's receiving at home. Then you come and shout at her now. What do you expect? She will increase fire. She will increase the fire. But if maybe you have known and understood that, oh, she's having some problems at home, maybe, she's not getting along so well with her husband or something of that nature at home, and then when she begins to shout, you stay calm, you listen, and you actually show her that you're paying attention to her. Don't you think the response will be different? Definitely it will be. So let's not judge them, because most times people acting unreasonable is not that, a knot is loose in their heads. There are some that one knot has removed from their head. Agreed. But most of them is that they're going through something and they don't know how to react. They don't know how to deal with the emotions that are coming from whatever it is they are dealing with. And they're just transferring the aggression that they are feeling, the emotion that they are feeling, the hurt that they are feeling. They now transfer it to you. I am not supporting the transfer, understand me, but you can help by understanding where they are coming from, by trying to put yourself in their shoes. And then you will know how best to correct their bad behavior. Okay, the next thing is to, this kind of goes along with not judging that I spoke about, is to discover, I think it's basically the same, to discover the hidden need. Like the example I gave, the person I gave in that example just needed someone to listen to them. That was all. They were not looking for, let people see me, let people know me. No, she was not looking to be the best aspect. Let me be on top and people be below. No, but that was the impression she was giving out. It was like she was struggling with everybody to be on top of everybody, to dominate every single person. That is the impression she was giving out. But by the time I listened to her, I discovered that her problem is not trying to dominate everyone, but she felt people don't listen to her. She felt no one hears her. Well, hear is not the word. People hear her, they don't listen to her. People hear the words she says, they don't hear the intentions behind the words. That was all it took. That was all it took, to just take our time and just listen to her. So that is why we need to try and find that hidden need, to find out what is really behind the action. Now, these things I'm saying work with most people who are difficult. Almost 80 to 90% of people who are difficult around us, they have a hidden need. They just don't know how to handle their emotions at this time. They don't know how to handle the things that are happening around them, and they misbehave. There was also one lady that I worked with years ago that she was very, I don't even know the word to use now, but she was always following the bosses. She liked to be the one that the boss will call to come and do this. She liked to be, so she's always trying to prove that she's better than every other person. That was the impression she was giving out. So she would always, if they give out jobs, she must find a way to go and get a little extra so that she will have an edge over every other person. This was her. Always. And because of that, everybody kept away from her. Everybody shunned her. Nobody wanted to be her friend. Nobody wanted to relate with her. Because, nobody wants the trouble. If you talk too much now, she reports you to all those bosses. You're in trouble now. Since she's so close to all of them and, friendly with all of them, has their ear. So everybody just stayed clear. Including me. Even me. Because of all people, me, I don't want the wahala, I don't want the trouble, I don't want the stress, I don't even want people to hear my name, I don't want people to hear my voice, I don't want it. So we all stayed clear of this young lady. But I had an encounter with her, something, I overheard her talking about something, she wanted to do a computer course or something. Yes, I think it was a computer course. I overheard that, and in my characteristic way, I said, okay, since she's planning to do a computer course, I have the documents, the materials I use for my own computer course, I just finished it. I can as well give her. So I called her, told her I have some things to give her, and I passed on the materials to her. Initially, yes, she took them. She was like, wow, she didn't expect it, of course. She did not expect it. So she kind of calmed down for me a little. But later on, we had an encounter, something happened to her. And because I now felt she's my friend, in quotes, I went to defend her before the bosses when, they wanted to sack her for something that happened. She was absent from the office for a couple of days without any information. I went to defend her. Maybe something happened. You never know, sir. Let's not give this query, sir. Let's not do this yet. And I defended her. And when she came back, finally, we heard that she had an accident. That was why she didn't come to work. But the strange thing was that she now felt, I don't know how, I don't know why, that I was the cause behind their wanting to query her. And she began to quarrel with me, because I wasn't quarreling with her. That's why I'm specific to say she was having an issue quarreling with me. And the day, her head was full. It was one afternoon. We were all sitting in the reception during our break. We've had our lunch, so we're just sitting to rest a little before going back to work. And she came out. I can't even really remember what this whole thing was about. But suddenly she began to shout at me. Began to accuse me of all those things that was running around in her head. And honestly, I don't know what happened that day. By this time, yes, I was a Christian. I was born again. But you know when you are a Christian, you are born again, but you still have some little. You understand now? So I was still, if you give me, I give you back. There's no need to keep it for tomorrow. Let's settle it here and now. But that day, as she was shouting and talking and accusing and spewing out, I sat where I was, quietly. I did not speak one single word. Not a word. If you walked into the reception at that time, you'll be wondering, who is this woman talking to? You'll be looking around for who is she talking to. Unless you know my name, you will not know she's talking to me. Because of course she was calling my name and saying all the things she was saying. But I just sat through there and I did not comment a word. I said nothing to her. Probably because I've gotten to know her a little, and I know that all these are outbursts. They're just attention seeking. She's just looking for attention. She's just looking for, by the time I put mouth in that discussion, it now becomes a quarrel. And of course she will win. I cannot quarrel. I don't even know how to come up with some of those. The responses come to me after. I don't know if you're like me. The response to give comes afterwards, not at that point of the heated argument. The response sometimes disappears. But that one that does come, if I say it, everywhere will scatter. That one response that will come to my mind, by the time I release it, everywhere will scatter. But that day, I did not say to her. It was now the other people that were there that had to bundle her, because she was not looking like a mad woman. She was looking like a raving mad woman, a lunatic. They bundled her away. But you see that if I had reacted differently, the story would be different. The story will not be this story I'm telling now. If I had given her fire for fire the way she was giving it to me, maybe who knows what would have happened? Who knows where this would have gotten to? But I did not respond. And for the next few days, weeks in the office, she was as quiet as a church rat. Nobody knew she was in the office. She would come and go quietly, because she has disgraced herself now. Quietly she would come. Quietly she would go. Not before that, when she's coming to work, everybody will know she has come. Somehow she must advertise herself that she has come to work. When she's going, everybody will know. She has gone on break. Everybody would know. But after this encounter, quietness came upon her. Quietness came upon her. The story continues, but see, the other part of the story is not the portion of our discussion today. So I will not go into that part. But the fact remains that because of my reaction to her that day, the difficulty she wanted to bring out, the difficult character she wanted to showcase, now looked different. Didn't look like the superstar she wanted to be. She looked like a crazy woman. She looked like someone that their senses are not complete. Like I said, probably because I had already known her a little and I understood what prompts all these her behaviors. I understood a little bit what she's looking for in all these characters she's putting out there. Of course, with the help of the Holy Spirit added, though, because even as I'm thinking of it now, I'm sure that if the Holy Spirit was not there, it might have been a little different. But truly, because I had understood her, I had spent time listening to her earlier in other situations at other times. I had spent time trying to understand her. And then because in the present situation, I remained calm. The situation did not explode as it wanted to. So dealing with difficult people is actually not difficult. It's actually not difficult. It's we that make it difficult because we react the way they expect us to react. We give them the way they are giving us. We don't take time to understand what is possibly behind the misbehavior, what is possibly behind the, acting up. It even also applies to our children. It applies to our workers, maybe if you are the boss, the people who work with you. It applies in our homes, the people that we live with, the people that we interact with. If we can take our time to just try and understand a little bit, listen to the people when they are talking, actively listen. Stay calm in the heat of that moment. Do your best to stay calm. If you have to take a deep breath, take a deep breath. If you even need to walk away, find a way to walk away. I've had situations where everywhere was heated, everybody was upset, everybody was saying their own, and I just quietly, at a point, walked out. By the time I walked back in, my mind had calmed down. I could talk rationally. I was no longer reacting to what the person said. I had thought it over, and I had rational responses to give. When they say that two people cannot be mad at the same time, it is actually true. Two people. Madness. No. One person has to remain sane. Otherwise, the situation becomes chaos. So it's not that difficult to deal with difficult people. It's left for us. It looks like, as I've said, it looks like what is the portion of the difficult person? Their own portion is to work on themselves, yes. But you see, most times, the mistake we make that we don't work on us. We are waiting for the difficult person to work on themselves. They are not ready to work on themselves, though. Most of them are not ready. They don't even understand that they need to work on themselves. And even as you're trying to tell them they need to work on themselves, they're getting angrier with you because they're seeing it as confrontation. But when you handle it properly, when you listen to them, when you calm down, when you don't judge, when you don't assume that something is wrong with their head, and you understand that maybe this is based on something they are going through, and when you try to understand the need, the hidden need in this particular situation or in this person's life, you will find that you will deal with them better. And for you, Seth, you will have peace. You will have peace. They will not succeed in taking away your peace. Because most times, another thing is that the aim of that confrontation is to take away your peace. They will not succeed to take away your peace. And you would be fine. And you would be good. If they want to change, they will change. If they don't want, they will continue their bad behavior and carry it to somewhere else until they meet the person that two of them will be mad together. It doesn't have to be you. So with these few words of mine, as they say, I hope I've been able to convince you that it is actually quite easy to deal with difficult people. And once you have perfected this act of dealing with difficult people, your growth will be phenomenal, because you will meet difficult people at different aspects, different times, different levels. You will meet them. And once you can deal with them and deal with them properly, you will find that you move on and leave them behind. Because our aim is to move forward and leave the weight, leave the rubbish behind. We don't intend to grow carrying any luggages, carrying any baggages. No, we don't intend to grow with, a lot of attachments. No. The aim is, as you're growing, you're shedding, you're letting go, so that you're lighter and you're moving faster and you're moving more rapidly. So I hope that I have been able to impact maybe a little bit to us on how to deal with difficult people, how to be able to maneuver their drama, how to be able to maneuver their situations or the challenges that crop up because of difficult people that are around. Because see, you can't get rid of them all. They will always be there in one shape or the other, in one form or the other. The thing for you or I to do is to learn how to deal with them, and then how to move on from that situation better than you entered it. With that, I come to the end of this session this afternoon. And I want to thank you each once again. Please, if you have any questions on what I have discussed, if there are areas that are not clear that you think I should still lay more emphasis, please just put it in the comment section and I will try to attend to it. Yes, I will make an attempt to attend to it. Okay, Michael says classes are always so edifying. Oh, thank you very, very much. I'm so glad that they are edifying. God bless you too. Thank you for joining. Thank you for coming on. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. So, as I was saying, I hope that I've been able to show us, just shine a little light in that area of dealing with difficult people. Because, as I said, they will always be there. They will always be there. You don't finish dealing with them ever, really. Because as you grow, as you mature, as you advance, you meet the level of difficult people you meet when you're still trying to work on yourself, when you're still struggling with anger, is not the same level of difficult person you will meet when you think you have mastered anger, when you think you have mastered your emotions. The one in front will be bigger, more difficult than the one you left behind. But the lessons you learned from dealing with this one at this level will help you when you get to the next level, and then that level of difficult people begin to appear. So once again, thank you all so much for showing up this afternoon, and for those that watch the replay, thank you for joining, thank you for watching, thank you for being a part of this journey. I truly appreciate each and every one of you, and my heart especially goes out to those that have been joining from session 1. I am so grateful to have you. So we have become a family now, the Growth Habits family. I am so glad to have so many of us in this Growth Habits family. As I mentioned before, I do run a mentorship program. There's a paid mentorship, there's a free mentorship. But the free one, generally, I just share once in a while. But the paid mentorship, I spend time, I hold weekly meetings, I discuss your personal plan, the personal things you want to do, your career plans, your spiritual goals. I discuss all those with you, and I take time to go through those things with you. Yeah, so if you are still interested in joining that mentorship program, it's still open, but just for a few more weeks. Should it really still be open? Now that I'm thinking, will you be able to meet up? Because there are some books you need to read before you can join the paid. But anyway, maybe if you are still interested and you can read and be able to write a review of the book in time, because the next intake is on the 1st of April. The next intake into the paid mentorship is on the 1st of April. So if you're interested, please send me a message, or send me a message on WhatsApp, or send me a message on Messenger, send me a message here on the comment section, wherever, and I will give you the details for that mentorship program. Thank you all so much for showing. Okay, Mike says self-control, being patient, and a good listener is required. Yes, very, very much important. Very, very important. We like to... Yes, now let me say this as a caveat and as a final point. There are situations where you might need to, be firm. You need to put your foot down on some things. Sure, for sure. I am not saying we will never put our foot down. I'm not saying you will never correct people when they're acting up. No. But these principles will help you correct right. There's a correction that's right. There's a correction that is wrong. There's a correction that leads to growth, that leads to improvement. There's a correction that brings the person that destroys even the person you're trying to correct. So applying these principles will help you correct right, so that the person comes out better for your correction than worse for your correction. Okay, so having said that, I want to thank you all once again. Thank you so much for joining this makeup session, and thank you for all that called me to find out how I was, why the Tuesday session was postponed to today. Thank you all. I appreciate everyone that called. I appreciate those that sent text messages. I appreciate those that sent me messages on WhatsApp. Messenger, on Facebook Messenger, asking what happened, how are you, I hope you're fine, ma. Thank you so much. I truly appreciate it. It made me feel special. It made me feel special. Thank you all so much. Susan says we will always meet one or two difficult people around us. All they need from us is our love and patience. Someday they will grow in love of Christ. Sure. Exactly. Because the way we handle them can turn them away completely and totally, or it can bring them nearer. Well, they're always there. The difficult people, they exist all around, everywhere. They are there. They are there. But dealing with them properly and in the right ways will turn them to allies and friends and not enemies in the future. Yes, thank you so much, Susan, for that comment. Okay, so as I was saying, thank you all for joining. This brings us to the end of this session. Remember, this is Growth Habits with Ngozi Onwochiloba, your personal guide in the journey of growth. And we'll be back here on Tuesday. Remember, from this month on, our sessions are just on Tuesdays. The Thursdays do not hold any longer, just on Tuesdays. Today was a special session to make up for missing on Tuesday. So Tuesdays, 12 noon, right here on Facebook Live. I think I will have to, anyway, let's leave it. You will see the things I have in store for us going forward. Like I said, we'll bring in some people to share their own journey of growth, even as we are discussing and learning together. So thank you once again for joining me today. I appreciate your time. Have a beautiful rest of the day. God bless and bye.